7,000 pounds, pretty much dead on the nose. Might vary a little bit depending on the options that you apply to it. My name is Josh, the RV Nerd. This is Haylet RV of Coldwater, Michigan, and this is the Cougar 29 BHS, which is absolutely a nerd-preferred floor plan. I love this thing. It was one of the first ones that I just really got hung up on, and I've been doing this for a long time. Let's take a look with our floor plan in a flash. It has almost, I think, a perfect balance of like great living room space, good storage, awesome sleeping. I could see this model working for people who don't care about the bunks, who are just looking for all kinds of storage. It can do almost anything. It might be a little bit shy on door side windows, but a one-slide trailer like this, I think you still spend enough time outside that I don't know that that always matters. I don't think everybody's buying a trailer like this to spend all day, every day inside. And when you do want it, it's definitely got big-time windows for some panoramic viewing. But Cougar was really one of the first travel trailers that gave us fifth-wheel features in a potentially half-ton towable model. Like, we've got thicker 2-inch sidewalls. We've got an awesome proven hot-cold camping package, 12-volt tank heaters, enclosed heated belly, all that stuff. 70 by 80 king bed standard. It gives us a little camp kitchen and a bathroom entry door instead of one or the other. It has in command, so if you want to go super tech packagey, you can do all that. There's not much it doesn't do. There's a reason I love this trailer, because when I look around, I see that it could work for my family today, even with just one kid. And frankly, in a few years, when she grows up and she's done camping with mom and dad, I could see us hanging on to this trailer and really not having any reason to swap around and saving a ton of money long term versus buying a second trailer. Now, we'll take a more detailed look at the kitchen in just a minute, but I do want to showcase those outlets right there, household and USB. They're easy to miss, and I know I've done a poor job of documenting them in previous tours. So we already kind of glanced at this with the floor plan and a flash. You saw those big panoramic maximum airflow windows open all the way around the slide. One of the things that you couldn't see is obviously, though, is like there's a ton of lighting in the ceiling above this, and what's kind of cool is they're on a dimmer switch. So if you want to turn them into something of a night light, you can use them that way. And you can see that when you turn them off and on, they have a positional memory. They'll remember where you left the swell, and you don't have to take it all the way up or all the way down. You can kind of do whatever you want with it. Now, we're looking at an optional seating arrangement here. The booth dinette is standard. It gives you some bonus sleeping. It gives you some bonus storage. Normally, this floor plan would have a hide-a-bed, but we've done a lot of listening to our customers. And when you are sitting directly across from the entertainment center, so you don't have to crank your neck around, we have found a lot of folks are looking for a theater seat, and we have equipped this one accordingly with the optional theater seating. It is heated. It does have massage features. It has USB plugs to power your stuff. You might notice those are located in the central cup holder area. That is because sometimes they use the same sofa across like all Cougars. So some floor plans, they can't put outlets on the left or right side, but they can always put them in the middle. So that's why they're located right there. And this is what I love about this floor plan. The color, this new color palette is absolutely awesome. The big vaulted ceiling. Okay, so quick note on this. This is 6.5 foot on the sidewall, and it vaults up to like 6'10", something like that. So, depending on where you measure, the ceiling height will be different. If someone ever tells you, oh yeah, Cougar's got a 7-foot ceiling, and they quit talking, get away from them, because they're using half-truths to try to trick you into buying from them. I don't use fisheye lenses. I give you straightforward information. I tell you what I like. I'll even tell you some things I don't, so you know you're always getting fair facts from our family-owned dealership here at Haylet RV. Another really sweet update. That ain't carpet. Cougar's gotten rid of the carpeting. They followed along that, they took that page out of Montana's book. That's basically like a pontoon kind of flooring, so that if you do get spills on it, you got to scrub on it. It's not going to get shredded. It's not going to fall apart. It's different from the linoleum, but it still matches the color palette. I think it looks pretty sharp in here. We have outfitted this one with that now available. It didn't used to be available on this floor plan, electric space heating fireplace. So you can get some bonus heat in this RV without burning up your propane. We'll come back and talk kitchen stuff in a minute. But, ooh, I'm going to sneeze. Ooh, pardon me. I'm so sorry. Bless me. What was I talking? Man, that scrambled me right up. Sorry about that, folks. Really took my train of thought off the tracks. Let's talk air conditioning, since I can't seem to remember what else I was going to talk about. Cougars standard have what is often optional in other brands. This has a 15,000 BTU Coleman quiet air system up here. And they also are using a different kind of AC duct. It's kind of like along the same concept as almost like a propeller blade in a sense, but the shape of the vent, effectively, once air starts blowing across it, it's almost like an airplane effect where it will start to pull extra air out of those vents. And Keystone's got a really good engineering department. They've done a lot of testing on that, kind of like Key TV. They wouldn't be putting it in if it doesn't work. Now, the flip side to getting the more air, you can't close them. Cougar's air systems are not designed to have vents closed, but it is distributing air very evenly throughout the RV, so I don't think you're going to need to close them. You shouldn't really ever get a single direct blast of cold air right on your face. Look at the jumbotron of a 4K TV on this thing, too. Good gravy. And they are still giving us Bluetooth and DVD player. Now, over here, I love this. This is why I think that this floor plan is so flexible. This is why I love this, and this is why I feel like it's the last camper my personal household would ever need to own. This flip-up, easy-use cargo bunk garage in here. Use it for bikes, use it for totes, use it for dog crates or something like that. And on a rainy day, we can play Nerf Battle Fort. We could easily hang out in there, shoot Nerf guns at Mom, then run for our lives. Only the trick is that door doesn't open from the inside back there, so you got the kids trapped. There are outlets on the upper and lower bunks, and I love that extra vent up there. Extra light, extra airflow, and the window that we're looking at on the sidewall also opens for air. Now you have dual separate curtains, so the upper and lower bunks don't have to fight with one another. If we take a look here, you can see how this has its own built-in ladder, so you don't have to throw the kids into the bed. And once again, we do have that flip-down lower bunk, so you've got basically similar to like dual camp queens down here. And, you know, the flexibility of this floor plan, it just can't be beaten. Real quick, I'm just going to take a seat on the theater seat right here, so that you can get an idea of what the entertainment center looks like when you are in the driver's seat, because, I mean, this is awesome. You're right in the mix of everything. And you will see that that TV pivots all over the place with a double-jointed swing arm, so that if you want to be able to sit in the kitchen and watch some TV, you could do that from the dinette. Frankly, in the evenings, you could point it over here toward the bunks, turn on some SpongeBob SquarePants, and Uncle Josh the RV Nerd will bunk down with the kiddos, and we have ourselves a good time, because frankly, I'm just a giant kid and I like cartoons. And the bathroom starts right out with a pretty good-sized countertop. I like how they sweep that out and extend it. It gives you a place to actually set stuff down. Porcelain foot flush stool, another indicator of like what I call that ultralight plus category, where I kind of lump Cougars in. Now, this window in the full door, when you're sitting inside the RV, you might feel a little exposed. Remember, it's super duper tinted, and you could easily put something over it to cover that up if you're, you know, if that's really how you feel. Now, one of the other things that I really like about this, if we take a look, you can see a big, tall guy like me fits in this shower fantastically, because the shower head is mounted on the inside of that vaulted ceiling. I do not need my head in that bubble. Similarly, I am very happy with the legroom that comes in this one, and that's why I keep saying, everything I look for in an RV, with all my years of experience in this business and all my years of experience actually camping, it checks all the boxes, and there are not a long list of trailers that really nail everything I would be looking for. Coming out of the bathroom here, you get a really good sense of all this just awesome space that Super Slide's giving you. We'll actually see it from this angle with the slide closed later, and if you do like a screen snapshot and an A-B comparison, it's crazy the difference that it makes. What's also crazy is how much storage you get in this kitchen. This has a really good kitchen, and it actually starts, interestingly enough, over here by the entertainment center. And it was because of space like this that I first started using the phrase Pantry Tainment Center, and I think it was actually this specific floor plan, because if you look, there's a huge amount of storage hidden behind, under, above, around, etc. the entertainment center there. And Cougar being what I kind of like to call an ultralight plus, like a White Hawk, it's in that more premium category. You start picking up things like that, a nice electric space heating fireplace. Now, over here, we have an optional piece of equipment. Standard, a Cougar has an 8 cubic foot, two-way gas electric fridge, which is great. It's great for boondocking, you know. But what we're looking at here is a 12-volt DC compressor fridge measuring about 10.7 cubic feet. So it's more cold storage. It's faster cooling. The RV doesn't have to be level for it to be used. It's totally travel friendly. You can 100% use it in transit, and the amperage draw on those is only like 3 or 4 amps once they're down to temp. So very manageable if you want to go off-grid long term with like a solar package. They're using a larger 22-inch Furrion oven, and a couple benefits. The reason I stress Furrion, first of all, it's one of the few ovens that gives you separate lighting in the oven versus just the handles. The second thing is the sparker knob over here will actually spark not just the burners, but the oven as well. But there's a safety mechanism involved. It won't start pumping gas into that compartment until it detects a spark. So you won't turn your camper into a bomb, which is obviously beneficial. Big place for a wastebasket here, and plywood drawers down to the floor right there. That's something you hear me say a lot in the Jayco RVs that we have here at Haylitz, and Cougar's very good about it themselves. Sealed edge thermal foil counters here in the kitchen space, and the cutting board sink covers, and this one's kind of like a dish drying rack, covering up our very generously sized, I think, stainless steel sink right here. Same kind of thing they use in a Cougar fifth wheel with that high-rise sprayer faucet. Now, you got a good window right there. You got a full viewing window in the entry door. The RV as a whole, a little shy on door side windows, but you can't just like flip-flop and build this floor plan the other way and put all the windows over here. It just doesn't work. Now, it's a one-slide camper. It's still made for a little bit more of a mobile lifestyle. Chances are you're inside because you have to be and you're not spending time outside. So when you are going to be outdoors, you don't need the windows on the door side. It makes this floor plan a little more space effective. I also don't want to miss the fact that around the corner, we've got ourselves a pair of big, almost like, I call them like pots, pans drawers. Big suckers. And I got a little too close and it went ahead and activated on me. But above that full viewing entry window, you do have a motion entry light. You'll see the same thing in the pass-through compartment. What's really slick about this, guys, if you leave it on motion mode, which you can just turn it on or off and leave it that way, but on motion mode, it won't cause a bright light by the window, which won't cause a cloud of gnats by the door, which won't let the bugs in your camper. Because the last thing you want is to be bugged when you're camping, which is why my wife usually wants me to leave her alone, am I right? Hey. The in-command system, this is where the brain of it is located. And what's kind of cool is you can program your own little passcode. We tend to default these to 4 zeros. But heating and cooling, your lights, your slides and awnings, there's, your battery pump, water heater, water pump, those things you can use on here and monitor your battery. You've got the, what is this thing? Looks like Call of Cthulhu sort of coat rack right by the entry door, which I like. But notice, too, the details. This is not just a scrap leftover piece of wood. This was purpose-made strictly for right here. Cougar doesn't use, like, leftover stuff. Everything on a Cougar is always a prime material. And this right here, this is awesome. This is huge closet, or huge pantry, or a hide-and-seek space for the kids. That kind of reminds me of, like, when we were going to the drive-in movies when I was younger, my dad's like, scoot down in your seat. Kids under 6 get in $1 cheaper. Anyone else's parents have them lie about their age to save $1 on a kid's buffet? Now, a neat thing here, too, is this, it's an angle-sized closet. And this big kind of space here where the shelves don't go all the way forward, that is the perfect spot, I think, to like hang some brooms and stuff like that. Now, you can see that we also have a sliding privacy door for the master bedroom. We peel that out of the way. I did figure, hey, why not keep the storage train rolling, toot toot, and look at the storage under the bed here. This big king bed gives us a large storage trunk right here, which is something that, like, I've never talked to a person who's like, man, I hate all the extra storage in my camper. Although now that I've said it, I know one of my awesome YouTube fans is going to say a comment like that. So haha, beat you to it. And that trend of high-class fifth wheel features really, it continues here in the bedroom with a 70x80 standard king bed. That's what's really cool on a Cougar. That's one of those big defining differences. You can option that into some other things. It's just standard on a Cougar. It's made bigger, standard, by default, basically. Now, ooh, that sunshine is not being friendly. Let me get you up here. Take a look at those side stands where you've got the household and USB plugs. You have them on both sides. But that set of outlets over there is actually pre-wired if you choose to add an inverter to this RV. Inverter prep seems to be the next big hidden wave of features coming into camping. White Hawks, Eagles, Cougars, they all do that standard here at Haylett RV. They are solar ready and inverter prepped. This is 50 amp. You have the option of going to a second air conditioner. Here around the Midwest, there's no need whatsoever to be doing that, especially considering all the things Cougar's done to be hot climate capable. You really don't need to do that on a Cougar. But if you're one of our more southerly, southwesterly customers, give us a call. We'll slap a second air on this thing for you before you take it home, and lickety split, get you camping. Now, naturally, we have TV hookups across from the bed. One of the other neat things, too, I've talked about in command. You don't have to use in command to operate the lights, because right here, Cougar still gives us a bedroom light switch. There's a similar switch in the living room, and in case you're curious, that little black dot is the, like, heat sensor, basically. So the in-command system knows how hot or how cold it is, so it, you know, you can operate your heating and cooling from here. Now, one of the other things I like to do for you at Haylett RV is show RVs with the slide closed in travel mode. Now, with the slides closed, you will need both entry doors, and it's kind of, you know, that big kitchen countertop that we saw earlier. It's almost working against us here, but it doesn't matter much. From that front entry door, the master bedroom, the big kind of closet storage space right here, you can easily get to that stuff. Now, also a thing to consider, with the in-command system, this is the type of slide where if you open it partially, it's not going to hurt it. But again, with that second door, plus the cargo garage door, you really don't need to. Because if we come in through that rear bathroom door, you see that we can get to everything else, whether it's the kitchen, all the cabinet space, all that stuff. And if I get this door out of the way, hey, look at there, it's Mr. Mikey doing some quality control for us, checking it out, and actually even giving us a second demonstration of that little cargo bunk space. Thank you, Mikey. Big pass-through under this. We're going to get over there and look at those panels in a minute. Real quick, though, just a glance, you see that aluminum structure that we're looking at here. Laminated walls and floor. Cougar actually uses a thing called Hyperdeck, which instead of Luan in the floor construction, it's an Azdel-like material. It's not Azdel. I believe it's made by a company called Techmoto, but effectively kind of a similar material that just holds up a little bit better in a floor application. Over here is a good look at our in-command system. That's basically the central nervous system of this. It's the RV's brain, if you will. And what I love about it is a couple things. You can see the all-color coded wiring system that goes into Keystone RVs. They were the first towable brand to do that, and frankly, most of them still do not. We've noticed, since they did that, we really don't have wiring issues on Keystones because they have a better idea what they're doing. And God forbid we ever have to track something down, it's a heck of a lot easier and cheaper for us to do it, less labor time. Now, one of the cool things about in command is you still have this little selector switch with an open-close button. So any motor, whether it's the like the slides, the awning, etc., you still have a button you can push outside in case that digital panel just like gives up the ghost. Slam latches. Magnet holdbacks makes this easy to operate. You might notice that marker light right there looks a little funny. This is rear and side camera ready. And like a lot of other brands like Eagle, well, I mean, just a lot of things, thankfully, Cougar has gone to the easy adjust step system here. You see that little silver tab hanging down. So when you get to your destination, it's easier to retract and then just pull down to extend that leg. I'm so happy. I'm going to talk about that every time I see it because that is something that really saves me a lot of hiccups and grief. Now, one of the other really cool things on a Cougar, I really should have talked about this when the video first started. I talked about how it gives us fifth wheel features in a travel trailer. And a potentially half-ton towable one at that, assuming you have a properly equipped half-ton. Now, obviously, half-ton towability, it can really vary based on, you know, the equipment package present on your vehicle. And at 7,000 pounds, though, and one slide, I don't know, this feels like it's potentially half-ton towable. But it gives us not just a power awning, not just a power tongue jack, but four-corner automatic leveling. So you just push the button and it does the work for you, which is cool. All you got to do is get it even close to eyeball level and it takes over and does the rest. And that's standard here. You're not paying extra for that. That's a really cool Cougar thing that they've worked out. You got bigger 30-pound propane tanks here. I mentioned previously the thicker 2-inch sidewalls, and that is an automotive windshield, not just like an RV window. There is a difference up front. It's a thicker, higher grade of glass. Now back here on the other side of the pass-through, a couple really neat things. First of all, auto leveling controls, but they're up where the cargo is not inclined to smash them. Then that thing right there. This RV is prepped for a roof solar system, or package, whatever you want to call it. I never know what to call that. But it is also pre-wired for an inverter. It's called the Cougar Otg Package, off the grid. The inverter would run an outlet in the bedroom, the TV, and the kitchen. So there's 3 different outlets wired to that. Now you can go roof solar, which is fixed, or you can go portable solar off the side here. And the docking station is just for like a water hookup, cable hookup, things like that. You've got all LED tail and markers, like there's a little marker light amidships to give you an idea. If I get down here, you don't see much, which is unfortunate because Cougar has done so much work in their underbelly compared to the previous seasons. The underbelly is enclosed, forced air heated, radiant barriered, 12-volt tank heaters. The Heat ducting runs directly in contact right next to effectively the water lines, and there's a direct force air heat dump directly onto each holding tank. So Cougars, they are proven, 0 degree tested, and with the white skin, the white membrane on the roof, the white air conditioner shroud, and a bunch of other things, they're exceptionally good in hot climates as well. We talk a lot about cold climate camping. We spend most of our time in hot climates. Cougar gets the job done. Now over here on the slides, one thing I want to show you is if you take your fingernails when you visit a Cougar in person, mine are filthy right now, but hey, I'm working. There's a groove underneath that slide edge. And if you feel around most trailers, even here at Haylett RV, you don't find that. And what that is it's basically an inversion groove for rain runoff, because water cannot go up against gravity without help. So water will tend to run down that slide wall, bead when it hits the groove, and dribble down. So it keeps water shunted away from your slide flooring. It's a little thing, but it's a big thing, you know? All the windows are tinted, all the windows open for airflow, including those slide side windows there. As we come around the back, you've got a standard roof ladder. We will take a very brief jaunt up there on the roofing area. We saw kind of the bunk cargo door open close. We'll take a quick peek at that from ground level to give you another perspective. But on the way here, you've also got a rear receiver hitch. So you have the ability, you could put a bike rack here, you could run bikes inside this big cargo door, which you know, does lock just like your main entry door. And there's no handle here because this is not a fire escape door, and that means that the kids cannot escape out the cargo door, which is a concern that a lot of parents have on bunk cargo door setups. And once again, even there, the lower bunk here has an aluminum skeleton, and this is wide. There are plenty of other RVs now. Since Cougar was one of the first to start doing this. A lot of other RVs have a bunk cargo door like that over here, above like a camp kitchen or something, but they're narrow. This is wide enough. Handlebars can actually just run right in here. This can actually load bicycles, not just, you know, like folding chairs or whatever, which you could put in a bunch of places. Now you see the white kind of ring around the taillights right there. That is a backup light system. So when you shift into reverse, just like your car, that will light right up. And inside that little box is like your key TV system, where like your cable TV hooks up. And the idea there is that there's no more need for signal antenna boosters or anything like that. The key TV system puts a direct cable line straight to any coaxial outlet in this RV, which is a really, really cool thing. Now, the outside camp kitchen on this floor plan was actually almost like a happy accident, as Bob Ross would say in Keystone Cougar design. They realized that behind the entertainment center, they had just enough space. They could squeeze this thing in here. This cool little fridge and the Capital Grill. Now remember, we got the larger 12-volt fridge optioned on the inside of this one, plus the fridge out here gives us approaching, if not a little bit more than 13 cubic foot of total fridge capacity. That's pretty sweet. And these hot burning Capital Grills, guys, if you've never used one, you don't realize how good they are. These things are fantastic. I know Blackstones are popular, Blackstones are great. That is not a bad option right there. It's cool that it's built right in, and if you're not going to cook on it, it's just like almost like stainless steel prep space. The outside shower over here really pulling double duty, which is, now that I say it out loud, an unfortunately timed phrase considering we are also getting ready to talk about the bathroom. Anyway, so it can act in a sense as a sink, but you can also hose the kids off or hose yourself off right before you hop into the bathroom to like take a shower to get the lake smell off you. And frankly, having that porcelain foot flush stool right there available right from the outside of the RV and a little refrigerator, the two primary reasons people are in and out of the RV, it will cut down on so much dirty foot traffic through the camper. It's not even funny. And if you're a shy guy, which I think we all are from time to time, it's a very personal thing that happens in the bathroom, you got a deadbolt door right here that you can reach from the stool. So it's not exactly like anyone's going to be running in on top of you and scaring you or anything like that. Over here we have ourselves, again, a Key TV wired outside TV hookup. That is an anti-slam door that we only glanced at briefly. Remember, that is a full viewing window in the entry door. And you see that extra large handle for easy come and go. Again, there is not much this RV does not do, and everything it does extremely well. And something you really can't appreciate until you visit one of these in person It's just the sturdy, like underfoot feeling you get walking on top of a Cougar. I don't know what they're doing different on the roof. I suspect it has to do with their really exaggerated double vaulted roofing, but it feels very solid under here. Now, on the left is a roof attic vent. You've got a pair of those, and that will really help you in the hot season. More on that in just a second. Secondly, on the right, you see the prep plug for the roof solar, either factory solar option or aftermarket upgrade, because basically Cougars are like a blank canvas. If you want to, you can start adding some crazy solar stuff over here. And note too how they're using a white shroud on their air conditioner. It's not that a black shroud will stop the AC from working. It's just that a white one seems to work a little bit better because it's not soaking up extra heat from the sun. Makes sense, you know? So thank you very much for hanging out with me, putting up with my dad jokes today. If you like what you see, please give our family-owned and operated facility here the opportunity to earn your business. Doesn't matter if you're near or far. We have delivery options. We make deals happen from coast to coast every day. We're a big dealer in a small town. Folks who don't live local, you're the folks that we work with every day, and we're specialized to handle that. And if you need hitching, pieces, parts, trades, financing, you need the RV delivered or anything in between, the only thing we don't do is hidden dealer fees. So if you appreciate that, if you appreciate the in-depth info, if you appreciate the education, hit that subscribe button, give our team here a call, and let's get you camping. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylet camping, everyone.